going to show you how to put on a throw line. This is what we generally use out on the river most of the time. Sometimes we'll do the bank pole fishing, but generally we put in throw lines. On our throw lines, we generally only put about 3 to 4 hooks, depending on the area that we're fishing in. If we see a good area that we think will produce a lot of flathead or blue cat, then we'll add more hooks depending on the area. So what we got here is, on the end of your line, you want to put in a weight. So one of the two options that we generally use is we'll use either a bench weight. People throw these things away all the time.
It'll make great.
New Year's resolution goes kaput. Or we'll use window weights. These come out of old windows, out of old houses to help assist lifting windows up and down. And these work really good because the hole is already installed on the end. So the way we tie it off is we basically use what they call a hangsman's noose. I don't know the technical term for it, but you grab it down there at the bottom, go around twice, both lines twice, and just pull it back through. Really simple. The harder they pull, the more tighter it gets. And once you got your line out, what you really, your first hook, you want generally about 6 foot from your line. I'm about 6 foot tall, so about arm's length for me is about right. So I'm gonna pull this in 6 foot. I'm gonna make my first noose. What you want on your leader line there is probably roughly, about 12 inches or so. So what I'm gonna do is I just make me a knife there on the end. Just pull it back through. So you got your first leader line. On your first leader line, what I got here is a half circle, half J hook. I think that's about a 13/0 hook. It's got a big eye on the front, as you can see. There are 2 ways that you can do this. You can do front to back, back to front when weaving this through. So what I'm going to do now is basically a back to front demo. You push this line through just this hole, and you see how it's just a noose loop there, and push every bit of it through.
You gotta have a big eye though for that big line though. But
that's right. You gotta have a big eye to go through that.
That's the reason these hooks are so good. They got a big eye on them.
That's right. So
that's it.
What you want to do is you got to have a big eye on the front of it, which comes standard on these big circle J hooks, and you got this big braided line here on the front. You want to push it all through and come from the back to front or front to back, whichever one you prefer, and pull it back through. So that gives you your first leader.
Right there. Yeah.
And what you want to do for your second one is basically the same thing. You come off about 6 foot, come in, and you make your next.
How long is this line when you first started out?
The line, generally I like to make my line between 30 and 40 feet.
Out before you start making those lines, huh?
Before I start making those lines.
All right.
And I'll push it, and it just all depends on where you're fishing.
Yeah, that's true.
So once
this is a good throw line right here. You're
basically doing the same thing. Just pull it back through. This time I'm gonna go from front to back and pull it through, and you're set. And you got so far 2 hooks.
Boom.